everybody, my name's Scotty, that's my channel, and today, fuck EA. For something different this time, technically, but different this time, kind of. See, what happened this time is that EA Games decided that it would blacklist people like Clean Prince Gaming over negative opinions and pieces on their games. And what they do on top of which is EA Games will reach out to people. Again, Clean Prince Gaming received an offer, and apparently, according to Clean Prince Gaming, they received lots of offers to do fluff pieces for games, where a company says, here's a lot of money, here's a fat stack of dosh, say nice things, we give you this money. Nice things, not nice things. And yeah, that's not on. That's bribery. And at this point, EA Games, I hope that you fail. I hope that you die. I hope that your company stops functioning as an entity. Oh, but it's not going to, because Apex Legends dropped. Apex Legends dropped independent of EA's influence and is making a killing because EA had no hand in the game's production. They had no control over it. It was released by Respawn. It was not discussed with EA at all. EA footed the bill and they released it, and that was it. And it's amazing, apparently. I've not seen or heard one bit about this game that's negative, that can't be attributed to simply, oh well, it's a MOBA game. MOBA games have specific things to the genre that, yeah, probably aren't fun for other people, but it's because it's a MOBA game. From what I've been hearing, EA Games releases things and then shits on them. Or rather, they shit on them, release them, and then say, oh, look at that lovely shade of brown. Isn't it a lovely shade of brown? You should thank us for that lovely shade of brown. Yeah. Except it's more like green and yellow and maybe a little bit of red. But if you say anything about the green, yellow, or red colors, because those aren't the colors EA wants you talking about, EA will blacklist you, refuse to talk to you, refuse to work with you, and refuse to do any business with you, because those weren't the colors EA wanted you to talk about. Never mind the fact that Anthem's a buggy, barely playable mess by... or was a buggy, barely playable mess by the majority of the honest critiques going out. Never mind the fact that Game Informer is no longer trusted by many, many, many gamers, because why would they? No, why would they? Game Informer and almost every other paid outlet, major paid outlet, they all write fluff pieces. They don't want to get blacklisted. They don't want to run the risk of pissing EA off. Well, they can afford to. They can afford to do that because they have fuck tons of money. They can afford to buy dozens of games on release day to play and review. But that's not the point. The reason they don't want to piss EA off is because they want to get their review early. They want to have their review ready, written up, and published to all of their stuff on the release or near the release day of whatever game it is. So if they don't get their review copies several weeks in advance sometimes, then they won't release their review on time. It won't be possible. I mean, some games you need to play for dozens of hours before you really reach the areas that... Damn it. I mean, some games you need to play for dozens of hours before you get to any substantial problems. And they're substantial problems. I mean, when Skyrim came out, people were like, oh yeah, look at this thing here, and this is quirky, and this is a bit odd. But it wasn't until very, very late into the game that you noticed some things were a bit off because they weren't in the original sections of the game. Things like the giant smashing you in the face and sending you into oblivion. Yeah, that wasn't part of the earliest sections of the game. Most players didn't see that until later, and that's just Skyrim, where most of the bugs were graphic bugs, and overall the game ran very well and was received pretty well by everybody. Then there's games like League of Legends. League of Legends has a history of sometimes releasing bugs or patches or whatever that make certain characters or certain maps just not playable. At which point, Riot Games will stop that content. They'll put a blocker on the content and you won't be able to access it until they fix it. It happens pretty regularly. If you were doing a review of League of Legends, you could do whatever you wanted because it's free. But you may have trouble getting to the individual characters you may want to review to have a comprehensive idea of the game because you have to pay for them. That's fine. You don't have to pay roll money. You can earn them through play. If you want to earn every character through play, though, you will be playing for a very long time. An obscenely long time, actually. And then there's Star Wars Battlefront 2. Hello, EA again. Where the game was ostensibly fine for the first few hours of play, and you didn't really have a chance to notice all the buggy... Sorry, not... Oh. And then there's Star Wars Battlefront 2, a game which was ostensibly fine for the first few hours, and then once you finally got down to it and you started getting deep into the game, you noticed that the progression system was a touch off. You noticed that, you know, hey, this takes a while. This takes a long while. Why does it take so long to do this? And why does your campaign suck so much? Yeah, you wouldn't know about those until several hours into a game. Almost a whole day in some cases. Like 24 hours of playtime a day. What I'm trying to get at, folks, is that this channel does not receive advertorials. This channel does not run sponsored content. This channel does not accept bribes. And if you try to bribe me, EA Games, if you try to bribe me, Kotaku, if you try to bribe, I don't care who it is, Any company that tries to bribe or convince me to run a fluff piece for their shit and ignore all the nasty things going on in there, any company that tries to bribe this channel is getting pilloried. I will put a list up at some point. Should it ever get to this juncture, and should I ever start to receive the... I'm not deluding myself into thinking I'm going to get these anytime soon. I'm not big or important enough to get these bribes, to get these sponsorship deals. If at any point this channel does get big enough for me to receive sponsorship deals, I'm going to turn them down. I'm going to turn them down. If it's a bribe and they're asking me to specifically fluff the nice things about a game, under no circumstances will I accept that. Their video will go on the list, and the list will roll through the video. Yeah. And at the beginning or the end or whatever of every video will be a list of companies who are not to be trusted because they will bribe people to say nice things instead of just doing things that deserve praise. I wish to make a statement on Kingdom Hearts 3. It's apparently not bad. I've heard many, many good things about it, and I've heard enough good things about it that I suggest that you play it. Still got some problems as a franchise. The storytelling is still a touch off, but the gameplay is pretty tight, apparently. They've managed to make it very fluid, very safe, very intelligent to control. But it's still hard, apparently, in some cases. I did hear that they dropped the ball a bit with the hardcore players and made the game a touch too easy to play, which, it happens. Kingdom Hearts as a game was originally made for like 11-year-olds, so I'm not super cross about them not making it ultra hard. I did have one other thing. What was it? What it was. Yes. Oh yeah, that's what it was. I was suggested to review Dusk, a game that's apparently very popular with the first-person shooter crowd. I'm not super sure how that's going to work, but I'm willing to be surprised, pleasantly or otherwise. And this, yeah, this could be a good opportunity. With everything that's going on in games lately, uh, I wanted to make my stance clear on that specific bribery thing. It's one of the reasons the video is so simple today. It's one of the reasons I don't really dress up much. I mean, I've got my very sexy uh, vest on. I just don't have anything decent underneath it. Yeah. No bribes. No ads. Ever. I don't run them. I don't accept them. And if somebody tries to bribe this channel, y'all know. And yeah, that's not going to be anytime remotely in the near future. I'm not big enough to get attention from these companies. And if any of them do like even a marginally comprehensive look at my work to be like, yeah, no, we don't want nothing to do with this guy. He's a hater. And yes, I am a hater. Yes, I am. And you know what's wrong with that? Nothing.